Hello everyone, welcome to our new video. Our GA4 series is going on. If you want to watch the whole series, you can come to our channel and watch those videos from here. Okay, so in today's lecture, we'll be discussing about retention reports in Google Analytics 4. So without further ado, let's get started. So first of all, let's get to know what is retention reports. So we are in the official documentation of Google Analytics 4, where we'll try to learn more about retention overview report. The retention overview report is made up of individual cards that summarize user retention data on your website or app. By default, Google Analytics populate the report with a number of useful cards. However, you can customize the cards that appear in the report so they are more tailored to your business goal. So if I go to the Google Analytics 4 dashboard, you can see over here, I'm one of the GA4 properties of one of my clients. So if I go to the retention section, so the first option I can see over here is new users and returning users. Okay. So we are seeing the data for last 90 days, so you can customize the date range according to your requirements. Like if you want to see the data for last 7 days, or you want to see the data for last 28 days, last 30 days, last 90 days, last 12 months. So you can customize those options as per your requirements. So let's get to know what is new users and returning users. So we'll go to the doc again. You can see over here, new users are users who visited your site or app for the first time. And returning users are users who have visited your website or app before. So in last 90 days, we have 1.3K new users, and in between them, 110 users are returning users. So you can see the graph over here, like this is for new users, and yeah, how we are getting the users. Perfect. The next option here is user retention by cohort. So let's get to know what is user retention by cohort. So I'll go to the doc again. And if I scroll down a little bit, then we can see over here, user retention by cohort. User retention by cohort shows how well your site or app retains users by cohort. A cohort is a collection of users who are grouped by some criteria. In this case, the cohort is the day user was acquired. The chart includes up to 3 lines, one for each cohort, the day 1, day 7, and day 30. So if I go to the cohort section, then you will be able to see we have 3 date available here, like day 1, day 7, and day 30. Okay, perfect. For example, 4 users visit your site on October 1. By October 2-3, users returns. So the day 1 line on October 1 will be 75%. By October 8, 2 users return. So the day 7 line on October 1 will be 50%. By October 31, 1 user returns. So the day 30 line on October 1 will be 25%. The following chart shows that by August 30, you can see over here, August 30, 5.8% of users return to the website, and by September 5, 0% of users return to the site. The data in this chart suggests that the website or app isn't retaining users successfully. So we'll go to our chart and see how we are retaining users. So you can see over here on Tuesday, 13th of March, we have 8.7% of returning users. Similarly, on 17th April, we have got 14.3% returning users, and on 8th of May, we have 18.2% of returning users, and on 6th June, we have 12.5% of returning users, and yeah. So we can see how we are returning users in this graph. So you can take the decision and you can analyze the data from this user retention by cohort section, that how we are getting our returning users from this section. So let's come to the next point, which is user engagement by cohort. So let's go to the doc and learn more about this first. If I scroll down a little bit, then I have an option called user engagement by cohort. User engagement by cohort shows the average amount of time users spend engaged on your site or app after they were first acquired. In this case, the cohort is the day that the user was acquired. The chart includes up to 3 lines, one for each cohort day, the day 1, day 7, and day 30. You can see over here day 1, day 7, and day 30. Perfect. For example, the following chart shows that by August 29, users spent an average of 1 minute and 47 seconds on the site. It shows that by September 5, user average 0 minute and 0 seconds on the website. The data in this graph suggests that the website isn't returning users successfully. If users found the website more useful over time, you would see an increase in engagement 7 days later. So let's go to the user engagement by cohort graph and see how we are getting returning users on the basis of engagement time. You can see over here, 29th of March, we have 7 minutes and 23 seconds that user has spent on our site, and on 31 March we have 3 minutes and 20 seconds that the user has spent on our site, and on 17th of April we have 7 minutes and 55 seconds. So similarly, we are not getting so much returning users who have spent more times on our site. So hopefully you have understood. The next session is user retention. So let's go to the doc and learn more about user retention. So if I scroll down a little bit, you can see over here, user retention shows the percentage of user who return each day in their first 42 days. The chart shows with 100% user retention when all users visit for the first time. It decreases from the first day as user drop off. So I'll go to the user retention section, and you can see the data for last 42 days. So day 0 is actually the first day. And first day is always the 100% user. So in day 0 we have 100% users, and if I go to this section, then you can see over here the user in day 1 user has dropped into 0.6%, and day 2 0.2%. So suppose your day 0 has started with 1,000 users, and in between them we have only returning users of 0.6%. That means if you got 1,000 users in day 0, in day 1 you have only 6 returning users. Similarly, on day 2, you have only 2 users between 1,000 users. Hopefully you have understood. So you can see the graph that how we are getting the returning users. So day 0 is always 100% users, and the users will be decreased day by day. So we are getting the data for last 42 days. And next one is user engagement. So let's go to the doc again and learn more about user engagement. You can see over here, user engagement shows the average engagement time of users who return in their first 42 days. Analytics includes only returning users in the average engagement time. So you can see the engagement time of our returning users. You can see over here, day 0 is again 100% users, and their return engagement time was 0 minute 42 seconds, and day 1 0 minute 2 seconds, on day 4 0 minute 6 seconds. So you can see the average engagement time of those users. who have returned to our site. Average engagement time, day 17, 0 minute 13 seconds. So we can see the last 42 days data over here, So let's come to the next section, which is lifetime value. So let's get to know what is lifetime value. So we'll go to the doc again, and you can see over here, lifetime value shows the average revenue generated by new users over their first 120 days. The chart can help you determine how valuable users are based on the additional revenue you generate. For example, a user purchases a shirt and then purchases pants the following week. Lifetime value LTV includes both purchases, indicates the overall success of the acquisition. So if I go to our lifetime value chart, then we can see the data for last 120 days over here. So you can see on day 0, our lifetime value was $1.54, and it is increasing day by day. You can see over here on day 1, it has been increased to $1.68, 68 cent, day 2 $1.77, day 3 $1.87, day 6 $1.91. So it is increasing day by day. That means our business is growing well. You can see over here our lifetime value is increasing. On day 65, our lifetime value is $2.25, and it is still increasing, and we can see the data for last 120 days. So if I go to the last section, then you can see over here day 119, our lifetime value is $2.30. So it started from $1.54, and it has increased to $2.30. So you can see our business is growing well and its lifetime value is increasing. So you can make those decisions, or you can see the holistic reports of your business, how it is growing, whether it is growing or not, whether you should spend on your business more or not. So we can see the holistic reports of returning users from this section. So hopefully you have understood all those things. So I'm going to share this doc file link in the video description so that you can study further about user retention reports in Google Analytics 4. So this is very useful doc. So yeah, that's it for this video. Hopefully you have understood what is retention overview report in our Google Analytics 4. So if you like our video, then you can subscribe our channel, follow our page. You have a good day. Bye bye.